All right, guys, in this video, I'm going to share how to actually create financial freedom. This is what I call the infinite money glitch. Now, before I go into the strategy and the example, there are different buckets of income that I want you to understand here. So I group it into active, semi-passive, and passive income. Passive income is where most people mistakenly focus. Everyone wants passive income. It's very, very hard to get true passive income consistently. So what I do instead is what I'm going to share later in this video with my strategy. But active income first is anything that you're working for to create an income. So we have a job, obviously, a 9-to-5 job. You have side hustles. So this could be either like part-time jobs, or it could be like an online side hustle, or maybe you're freelancing on the side. Anything that you're doing part-time in addition to a job, or a business, right? Where business, you're obviously working in the business, you're putting in hours to generate an income. So active income is very important, and most people don't like to talk about active income because it requires work, but we need the active income to fund the rest of this, to actually create the financial freedom. So if you want passive income, you want true passive income, you need to create an avalanche of active income, or you need to go through this strategy that I'm going to share in a second here. Now, the second category of income is semi-passive income. This is what I consider income that is, there are some passive elements to it. You're not working as much as what you're doing here, but you are still working, right? You're still putting in hours into this. Once you set it up, it's not like you just set it and forget it. So some examples of this, people always say real estate's passive. It is definitely not passive, right? I put in a decent amount of hours every month working on my real estate portfolio. So there's real estate. This could be rentals. I would consider semi-passive. I'm getting into real estate development. I would actually consider that more an active income. And there's a lot of other real estate strategies that I'm not going to share here. But real estate I would consider, if we're talking about rentals, semi-passive income. There's trading, right? Stock trading, Forex trading. I don't know too much about that because I've never been a trader. But trading, you're typically not working, at least the traders that I know, they're not working all day. They're typically setting some trades up, but they still have to monitor it. They still have to pay attention and put some hours into it. There's also, if you're in the online space, there are digital products, right? You set it up once, you can sell it every day, you can sell it while you sleep, but you're still working to market the product. You have to work to create the product. So I don't consider that truly passive income, and I also don't consider it truly active income, because once you create the digital product, you don't really have to create it over and over again. You just have to work on the marketing and selling of it, which actually could take a lot of time. And then we have everyone's favorite type of income, although it's very elusive, right? Not many people have it except for the really, really wealthy people in the world. So now we have passive income. So there are royalties. If you know Jimmy Buffett, he has all these restaurants. I think it's called Margaritaville. And he collects royalties just from people, or he did, he passed away, but he collects royalties just from people using his name, right? So you can license out your products, you can license out your services, your IP, and you can get paid royalties. And this is passive because you're not really having to do any work to get those royalties coming in. There are also dividend stocks. So dividend stocks, you buy a certain stock company that pays out a dividend. And my grandpa actually used this strategy to become a millionaire on a very modest salary. He retired at age 55 because he bought so much dividend stocks that he generated enough income passively to quit his job. And so he had a few $1,000,000 in dividend stocks, and it was paying him over $100,000 a year, and that was enough to pay for all of his lifestyle expenses, so he was able to retire at 55. You also have affiliate marketing, right? Affiliate commission. So you can create a blog, you can put up posts. I would actually put this maybe in semi-passive income, but once you have affiliate is like royalties, you are recommending products to other people, and if they buy through your link and they buy through your referral, you get paid for that. So this I guess it could be in either semi-passive or passive. So what is the strategy, or what is my strategy to actually create financial freedom and to create this infinite money glitch if we're considering all these buckets of income, active, semi-passive, and passive income? Well, my strategy is right here. You need to first get your active income as high as you can, okay? As high as you can. The higher the better, obviously, because then we can put that into these semi-passive and passive income sources. So you want to get your active income as high as you can. If you're working in a job, maybe you add a side hustle. If you have a business, you got to, double, triple down and make sure you get your active income from that business as high as it can be. And so once you get your active income higher, you're able to buy appreciating assets that generate cash flow a lot quicker. So I like real estate because it fits both of these boxes. You also get tax benefits. I'm in the US, so if you're watching this in some other country, I'm not exactly sure. I'm sure there are some benefits to taxes, but these properties that I buy, they go up in value, but they also pay me every month, and they pay a lot more than something like dividend stocks. So I buy appreciating assets that also generate cash flow. So it's increasing my net worth while also giving me a check every month. And typically I get paid around $500 to $700 per month per rental property that I get. Then you want to get your semi-passive income to a level where it pays for your lifestyle expenses. That's financial freedom. When working a job, when working active income is optional. So we buy appreciating assets, and that's going to generate enough cash flow eventually to pay for your lifestyle. If you have a high active income, whether it's from a job, side hustle, or business, you can afford to buy these assets, real estate and rentals, a lot quicker. So we want to collect all these and acquire these properties that get us semi-passive income, and we want to get it to a level where it pays for our lifestyle expenses. Once you've hit that, then congratulations, you're financially free, and you continue to get those payments for life, right? Because you're always going to have tenants in your house. Now, if you want to increase your lifestyle, then you need to go back and you need to repeat this process until you hit your new number. So I've hit financial freedom a couple times now, but then I increased my lifestyle expenses. Maybe I started spending more on entertainment. I just recently bought a house. I'm also getting into bigger real estate deals, so I need to have a higher active income. So I'm not just sipping margaritas on the beach. So if you want to increase your lifestyle, you have to go through this process and repeat it until you hit your new number. I don't think I'll ever hit a true financial free number where I just never work, because I don't know what else I'd do. But this is the strategy, okay? Get your active income as high as you can. Buy appreciating assets that generate cash flow like real estate. Get your semi-passive income from these appreciating assets to a level where it pays for your lifestyle. Then you are financially free. And if the goalposts move, if you increase your lifestyle, then you got to go back and repeat this process. So an example, let's say that you have, let's just say a job, right? You're in tech, you're an engineer or something. You generate $20,000 a month in active income. You have $10,000 a month in lifestyle expenses. So your goal is to buy enough appreciating assets and get the cash flow from your semi-passive income and maybe passive income sources up to a level where it's paying this $10,000 a month lifestyle expense. So a way you can do that, and my favorite way, is to buy, let's just say, one rental property per month, and you can afford to do this. Typically, I'm buying properties in the $75,000, $80,000 range up to $150,000, and you can put 20% down, right? That's $20,000 a month. You can buy one rental property a month. You can also use credit cards, 0% business credit cards, to convert it into cash and buy these properties as well. So there's lots of different ways you can do it. Let me know in the comments if you want to see videos on that. But you buy one rental property per month that generates $500 a month in net cash flow. Okay. Now, if we're looking at the $10,000 a month lifestyle expense, you would need 20 rentals to cover that lifestyle expense, and then you're financially free. Then this becomes optional, right? So you need 20 rentals that cover your lifestyle. You can buy one a month using, like I said, a mixture of cash and credit. So you don't have to always use your full active income to buy this. There are strategies with credit cards and business loans and lines of credit. In 20 months, if you are in this scenario and you want it to become financially free, in 20 months, your $20,000 a month active income becomes optional, because if you follow this plan, then you'll have 20 rentals that pay for this lifestyle expense. So relatively quickly, right? Less than 2 years, you can become financially free if you follow a simple plan like this. And you really don't even have to start a business if you have a high paying job. So in 20 months, your $20,000 a month active income becomes optional unless you want to spend more money, right? If you want to increase that $10,000 a month lifestyle expense to $20,000 a month, then maybe you need another 20 rentals, or you're going to need to keep this active income a little bit longer. So if you want to spend more, just keep that in mind. And it often happens, you increase your lifestyle expenses, something happens and you level up. Well, then you keep the active income and you just continue this process. So this is my strategy. This is how I became a millionaire at age 31. And this is how to actually create financial freedom. I call it the infinite money glitch because you can get money that continues to come in. Once you buy these assets, they continue to generate cash flow. They continue to go up in value. And this is how you become financially free. So I hope this was useful to see. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions around this or what you want to see next. And I'll see you in the next video.